She had come on a couple visits, and she was like a big name in Iowa, so I had heard about her. I wasn't from Iowa, so I didn't know as much, and that like all Iowa Attack like AAU program is like so big, and I had I'd never heard.
Kate Martin's story was supposed to be one of triumph, a fairy tale rise from college glory to WNBA success. She was the heart and soul of Iowa, the emotional engine behind Caitlin Clark's back-to-back Final Four runs. Together, they were unstoppable. But when the lights of the WNBA turned on, everything changed. The dream became a nightmare. And the person who ended up saving her was the same one who helped her rise in the first place, Caitlin Clark. This is Kate Martin. Caitlin Clark saved me from A.J. Wilson. A story of loyalty, survival, and redemption inside the storm that's tearing the WNBA apart. Before the drama, before the headlines, there was Iowa. Kate Martin wasn't just a teammate to Caitlin Clark, she was her anchor. While Caitlin lit up the scoreboard, Kate was the glue, the calm, composed leader who held the team together when everything got chaotic. At Iowa, Martin wasn't chasing fame. She was chasing impact. She did the dirty work, the defense, the leadership, the locker room presence. Caitlin once said publicly, "Kate's the kind of teammate you can't replace." When the WNBA draft arrived, Martin wasn't sure if she'd even be picked. She waited nervously. And then, in the second round, the Las Vegas Aces called her name. The reigning champions. A dream come true, or so it seemed, because that's where the nightmare began. At first, Kate Martin was thrilled to join the Aces, a championship team led by stars like Aya Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young. But soon she realized the cost of joining a dynasty. There was no room for new blood. A.J. Wilson was the face of the team, loud, dominant, fiercely protective of her circle. But behind the scenes, rumors swirled that she wasn't exactly welcoming to new players, especially ones linked to Caitlin Clark, the woman who had become her biggest media rival. A.J. and Caitlin are polar opposites. Old school versus new school, WNBA insider versus college sensation. So when Kate Martin showed up with that Iowa label on her back, the locker room tension was instant. Kate found herself on the bench, game after game. Minutes were scarce. Her role was undefined. She later told reporters, "I just wanted to contribute. I didn't need to start, I just wanted a chance." But that chance never came. Because inside the Aces locker room, politics ruled more than performance. A.J. Wilson was more than a star, she was the standard. But she was also the gatekeeper. And if you didn't fit her mold, you didn't play. Kate Martin was young, humble, loyal, everything the Aces should have loved. But she was also Caitlin Clark's friend. And that was enough to make her a target. During practices, insiders described an uncomfortable environment. Kate was often left out of team drills, laughed at for being Clark's sidekick, and even excluded from social team events. One insider claimed, Kate kept her head down, but you could tell it was getting to her. The veterans treated her like she hadn't earned her spot, even though she worked harder than anyone. A.J. Wilson's leadership was questioned too. She often preached unity, but in private, the divide between Aces veterans and new players was crystal clear. Kate Martin was trapped in a system that didn't want her to shine. But as fate would have it, one phone call would change everything. While Kate was fighting for minutes in Vegas, Caitlin Clark was fighting her own battles in Indiana, under intense media pressure, constant criticism, and a league divided by jealousy. But Caitlin never forgot where she came from. And she never forgot Kate Martin. Sources close to the two revealed that Caitlin often texted Kate after games, checking in, offering advice, reminding her she was capable of more. Then came the turning point. In one emotional conversation, Kate reportedly broke down, saying she felt invisible in Las Vegas. That's when Caitlin Clark said something that stuck. You don't need to stay somewhere that doesn't see your value. You're too good to be someone's backup storyline. That conversation lit the spark. Kate's agent quietly started exploring trade options, but the Aces weren't budging. Until the WNBA offseason, when the expansion draft for the Golden State Valkyries came calling. And guess who made a call to push for Kate's name? Caitlin Clark herself. In a shocking move, the Golden State Valkyries selected Kate Martin, giving her the fresh start she desperately needed. And for the first time since leaving Iowa, Kate smiled like she meant it. At her introductory press conference, when asked about leaving Las Vegas, Kate gave a subtle but powerful answer. "I'm just grateful to be somewhere I feel seen and valued. That's all I ever wanted." But it was her next comment that sent WNBA Twitter into chaos. "Caitlin Clark's been my biggest supporter, on and off the court. Honestly, she saved me."
When we were on our way to the draft, Caitlin's agents were talking to me and they were like, "Hey, like if you hear your name tonight, you should walk across the stage." And I thought, you know what, I didn't get invited to the draft, like I'm just here.
The room went silent, because everyone knew what she meant. Caitlin didn't just save her emotionally, she helped save her career. Golden State offered Kate minutes, freedom, and a fan base that already loved her connection to Clark. Meanwhile, A.J. Wilson and the Aces were left dealing with backlash, accused of benching talent out of ego. After Kate's comments went viral, the WNBA community erupted. Analysts began questioning A.J. Wilson's leadership and the Aces' locker room culture. Some fans accused Wilson of gatekeeping success, while others defended her, saying Kate simply wasn't ready to contribute. But the numbers didn't lie. When given minutes with Golden State, Kate Martin averaged 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, thriving in a system built on trust and chemistry. Fans began connecting the dots. Maybe it wasn't Kate's lack of ability, maybe it was the environment holding her back. And the environment inside the Aces had long been rumored to be tense for players who didn't fit the team's inner circle. When reporters asked A.J. Wilson about Kate's "saved me" comment, she fired back sharply. "I don't know what she means by that, but I wish her the best." But the tone said it all. Behind the confident exterior, A.J. was clearly rattled. For the first time, her leadership was being questioned publicly, not by outsiders, but by someone who lived it. In Golden State, Kate Martin finally became the player everyone at Iowa knew she could be. Confident, unselfish, fierce. The Valkyries coaching staff empowered her to lead, to speak up, to mentor rookies, to play freely. And with Caitlin Clark cheering her on from Indiana, their friendship became one of the most heartwarming stories in women's basketball. When asked about Kate's resurgence, Caitlin said, "She deserves every bit of this. She's one of the hardest working people I know. I'm just happy people finally see what I've seen for years." It wasn't just a comeback. It was a message that loyalty still matters, and that in a league often divided by ego and politics, genuine friendship can still win. But make no mistake, Kate's story isn't just about her. It's a mirror for what's happening inside the WNBA right now. Caitlin Clark's rise has divided the league. Some stars embrace her, others resent her. Some see her success as a boost for women's basketball, others see it as a threat to the status quo. And Kate Martin found herself caught right in the middle of that storm, punished for who she was friends with, not for how she played. Her journey exposed an uncomfortable truth, that behind the empowerment slogans and highlight reels, there's still a struggle for acceptance, fairness, and unity within the WNBA's walls. But through it all, Kate stayed true to herself, quiet, resilient, and loyal to the friend who never stopped believing in her. Kate Martin's story reminds us that in sports, as in life, the right person believing in you can change everything. She didn't quit when she was benched. She didn't lash out when she was ignored. She stayed true to her values and found a team that finally matched her heart. And in doing so, she proved that Caitlin Clark's influence goes far beyond the scoreboard. Because sometimes, greatness isn't measured in points. It's measured in people you lift up along the way. Kate Martin was saved, not by luck, not by headlines, but by friendship. And now, she's writing her own chapter. So what do you think? Did Kate Martin's story expose something deeper within the WNBA? Or was it just bad timing and bigger egos at play? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive deep dives into the stories behind the game. Because this is just the beginning.